Good morning and welcome to Mornings on Main Street for this Thursday, the 27th of July. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. I hope you're getting off to a fantastic start. You know, we're inching closer to the weekend. Many people trying to finalize those plans or something fun to do in addition to all the shopping that will be taking place since it is, of course, the tax-free weekend. If you're looking for some good food while you're out and about, we'll head on over right here to 303 Fairview Lane in Clarksville. They're having Taste of Clarksville on Saturday, so you will have dozens of vendors outside and then right in this building back here. Coming up, we'll learn about the vendors that will be on hand, the food that you'll be able to try, and the judges coming in to take part in Taste of Clarksville. We'll have that in addition to getting into the kitchen with Devon and Sylvia Ganier for a little bit of Devon's Table. They're breaking out the slow cooker to let us in on a dish that's really good any time of year. And after that, we're heading on over to Middle Tennessee State University's Todd Art Gallery to take a look at the We Are Here Now exhibit that is up on display for you to check out. We'll also learn about the upcoming exhibits that will be there at the gallery once the school year gets started. But first, let's get a check of our headlines this morning.
Jobs for 1,700 people will need to be filled soon at Ultium Cells, GM and LG's joint venture EV battery manufacturing company in Spring Hill. This development could be a great opportunity for communities like Centerville, Mount Pleasant, Summertown, and Lewisburg. Get more information on this development by going to mainstreetmediatn.com and clicking on Main Street Fairview. The Cheatham County Homeless Coalition is working right now to raise awareness about homelessness. Ashland City-based Colby's Army will kick off a campaign that will help to bring a better understanding about homelessness to the public. The awareness campaign will start the morning of Saturday, August 26th at the Cheatham County Courthouse in Ashland City. Would you like to register a team to be a part of this? Well, please head over to CheathamCountyExchange.com. This is Cody the horse. Thanks to Dickson County Emergency Management Agency firefighters, Cody is recovering from a few scrapes after the small space he was standing in collapsed. Firefighter and Dickson County Emergency Management Director Tony Calhoun said the most important thing to do during a large animal rescue is to keep the animal calm. Let's get a check of our forecast with our friends over at Tennessee Valley Weather.
Good Thursday morning to you. I'm Kelly Rawson here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with a check at your forecast for the rest of your morning and afternoon. Maybe a light sprinkle or two this morning, but overall not talking much precip for the rest of today, just like the last few days. We will hold on to a little bit of cloud cover for the rest of this afternoon, but overall I do think we will see times of sunshine. And again, not talking much rainfall, but we could see some light showers for the rest of this morning and for the rest of this afternoon. I don't think we're going to be seeing any scattered activity by any means, really going to be sparse across the Tennessee Valley. Here is a look at your 7-day forecast. We are going to be warm this afternoon into the low to mid 90s with again a mixture of sunshine and clouds mainly in the morning, making way for a mostly sunny afternoon with a stray rain chance, and we hold on to the mid 90s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We hold on to just a stray rain chance for the next few days until we get to Sunday. We will see isolated storm chances across the Tennessee Valley.
It is going to be a fantastic Saturday right here at the Emmanuel Family Life Center at 303 Fairview Lane in Clarksville. To tell us all about Taste of Clarksville coming up this Saturday, we have Shedrich Webster with us. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, Stephanie, I appreciate that you reached out to us, and I'm excited about the Taste of Clarksville.
How can you not be excited? It's food, and more food.
Food, fun, family, it's a lot of stuff going on that day.
So this is the third annual. How has this grown the past 3 years?
So our first year, we had about 500 people
Okay.
that came out to that event. It was 2021, and so we were kind of edging a little bit out of COVID, but there was still some restrictions and those types of things. Last year, we had about 750 to 900 people to come out. This year, we're expecting 12 to 1,500, but you got to come in order for us to get to that number.
That is true. So what about the vendors? Because you have how many vendors on hand?
We've got about 60 vendors. Please don't ask me to list them all off.
I was going to do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Compared to the first year, how has the vendors grown?
I think we're up about 40 to 50% from our vendors from first year.
Very nice.
I think we had about 10 to 15 outside in our food truck alley. This year we've got 18 vendors in our food truck alley. We've got about 15 to 20 food vendors inside, and then we've got 27 retail vendors inside, plus we've got a writer's lounge.
Okay, so we are standing inside the gymnasium that's going to be transformed on Saturday. So people can come out. It is a free event. They only have to pay for the food that they're getting from said vendor, correct?
Absolutely. We don't want to charge you anything to come to the Taste of Clarksville.
Okay.
Because we want you to spend all your money on all of our vendors.
Gotcha. Okay, fantastic. And what about the judging part, which I think is really interesting, that you are having outside judges come in?
Yeah, so our judges are from Nashville, and then we got a judge who's transplanted here from California.
Okay.
So none of our judges have any affiliation with any of the food trucks or food vendors. We've got We Eat Nash, they're food bloggers, food critics out of Nashville. We've got Legacy Said So, the lifestyle bloggers out of Nashville. And then Daniel Rolnick, he's a chef and a grocer. And so he's transplanted to this area within the last year, and they're going to taste a lot of food. They're going to taste burgers, hot dogs, seafood platters, dinner plates, and something that's special to Clarksville, meat and threes. If you're not from here, you have no idea what a meat and three is. But if you're from Clarksville, you know exactly what a meat and three is. And so it's really cool.
Thank you for your time. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you would want to share with everyone?
The food reviews, they're live. Like on stage, our judges are going to be reviewing the food on stage. And Clarksville's favorite food critic, Lewis, reviewed this. Terrence is going to be on stage. He's hosting. He's not judging because he's too close to a lot of these people.
Right.
But he's hosting. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. We have a couple vendors that I do want to highlight. We've got a 7-year-old who's selling, in our retail center, she's selling bags. And then we have a 15-year-old who's coming all the way up from Jackson, Tennessee. You heard about us. He sells freeze-dried candies. So we have two, what they call mini CEOs. I call them kidpreneurs.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and so they're going to be here. Definitely come out. Let's buy some of these people out, especially those kidpreneurs. This baby, she's got bags that your kids need when they go back to school. Come get some of those. Come try these freeze-dried candies. We've got a lot of vendors here, and we've even got some politicians here for our first bite. Ronnie Glenn, our state representative, is going to be here. David Shelton, the county commissioner. Karen Reynolds, who's actually the city council person for this area. And then Kevin Kennedy Jr., Dr. Kevin Kennedy Jr., who runs Clarksville Vibe. He's the host for Clarksville Vibe. He's going to be here. They're going to take the first bite right at noon. As soon as they take the first bite, our marketplace will be open. So you'll want to be here to see that.
Oh, fantastic. It's going to be a great Saturday. Thank you for all of that information. Be out here. Make a trip out here on Saturday. I know you're all going to be out and about anyways doing that shopping. So head on over to 303 Fairview Lane for Taste of Clarksville. Come and enjoy the food.
One more thing, Steph.
Yes.
So one of my favorite things is to eat this food, right?
Okay.
And so I've got a vendor who's a vegan vendor, and they're making for me curry chickpeas, plantains, and cabbage. If you come out and you can figure out which vendor is making for me curry chickpeas, plantains, and cabbage, and you come up and tell me, and you're the first person to do that, I'm going to give you a free spin on our prize wheel.
Oh, there's a prize wheel?
Yeah, there's a prize wheel.
You have to come out to check out the prize wheel. Can I get in on that too if I pick the right
absolutely.
person?
You
Okay,
sure can.
good.
I'm not going to tell you, so you got to come in, you got to guess.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I can do that. Thank you so much for all of this. Again, thank you guys. Don't go anywhere, but make sure that you're here at Taste of Clarksville on Saturday. Oh, and it runs from
noon till 5.
Noon to 5, so you have a nice span of time. Stick with us. We have more coming up on Mornings on Main Street after this.
Tired of hanging lights every year? We get it. That's why Southern Nights is here to help. We install programmable lighting on your home or business so you can enjoy beautiful, customizable lighting all year round. No more ladders, tangled lights, or cold nights outside. We do the work, you do the celebrating. Call Southern Nights today and take the hassle out of holiday lighting forever. For a free quote, give us a call at 931-241-3074 or visit our Facebook page at Southern Nights.
Did you know that up to 80% of us will experience back or neck pain during our lifetime? Many of you are offered surgery or addictive pain pills to relieve your chronic pain. At the Dr. Gill's Center for Back, Neck, Chronic Pain Relief, we have been leading the way to better health, naturally, and have helped tens of thousands of people right here in Middle Tennessee for the past 30 years.
I came to Dr. Gill about 10 years ago after my local doctors recommended surgery. I knew about Dr. Gill and wanted to see if he could help me. 10 years later, I am pain-free, no surgery, and no pain pills.
Surgery is scary, and over 40% of all back surgeries fail, creating a cycle of surgery and pills. There is a safer solution to your chronic pain. Make the call to the Dr. Gill Center for Back Neck Chronic Pain Relief today and get your life back. This office visit is normally $299, but call today and receive your initial consultation, report of finding for just $49. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Call 615-768-8743. That's 615-768-8743.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Devon O'Day.
I'm Sylvia Ganier.
It's time for Devon's Table. And sometimes we cook, sometimes we talk about the table or anything about making home a home and bringing people in. And this is by request. We've had some questions and some requests for slow cooking.
And it's the time of year. Keep it easy. Keep like your schedule going when you're trying to zoom around with all the new sports that are starting with kids and everything else. This is a great way to be on schedule to get supper on the table the right time.
Comfort food extraordinaire. Ain't nothing that comes out of a crock pot that is not called comfort food, right?
Amen.
And what are we going to make today?
So I thought we would talk about just doing a braised beef stew. It's super easy, super hearty, and it stretches your budget.
We love that.
So when you're using your slow cooker, your crock pot, I remember my mother's original crock pot.
Oh, yeah.
I sure wish I still had it, believe it or not.
Really?
Because there's just something about having that earthenware flavor in those original crock pots. They were awesome. So if you've still got one and it's still kicking, don't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Keep it. They don't make them like they used to anymore. So now they have new fancy fangled ones, and we're going to show you that because many of them have a low and a high setting, and you can pre-program in the times and all of that. So the most important thing to know is on the home setting, do you need it on the table fast or do you need it on the table more leisurely? You're going to let it go all day. If it's all day, you're going to use your low setting. You need to speed it up. You're going to use your high setting.
Gotcha.
If you're using your high setting, you're going to need more liquid because it's going to cook harder, faster. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so.
You don't want it to sizzle down and then become glue.
No, that is not fun when you have to take the chisel out to get what's in the crock pot out of it. That is not fun. So if you're doing meat in with something, a lot of times I do one extra step, and that extra step would be using either a skillet or a Dutch oven to brown the meat first. So if I was going to make this original, I would take that cast iron enameled pot that I have there, put a little bit of oil in the bottom, maybe a little bit of flour if I want it to thicken up, because flour is a thickener just on the meat, and I would put it in for a minute and take it out for a minute. Super fast, super easy. And then I would layer that into my crock pot. With that, I'm gonna put in my aromatics. And my aromatics and my mirepoix, which is?
Oh, that's carrots, celery, and onions.
See, I gave you a visual cue. I didn't even do this to make you see if you knew what you were talking about.
Mirepoix.
So with your mirepoix, you can put that in. I generally put that in the bottom, and then I put the meat on top of that, and I'm gonna cover it with my braising liquid. If I have something, say I was doing a pot roast or I was doing a shoulder or something like that, and I wanted to use these flavors, but I didn't want it to sit down in there all the way because I'm going to go even lower and slower, not as much liquid, then I can cheat and I can use whole vegetables. Like I could take the tops off of these beautiful baby carrots that we saw and put the carrots themselves whole, smaller pieces, cut the onion into quarters and use it like a little riser. To put in the bottom of the crock pot and then put my liquid in, and then it will steam over everything to make a nice roast that is steamed more than braised inside that liquid.
Yeah, and I love it. And when you braise it first in a skillet or something, you get that nice brown coloring and you get that taste that's nice and brown.
Yes, you're going to sear in that flavor. The same thing as steak on the grill. You put it on the hottest part of the grill first, and then you move it over to a little bit less on intensity sort of thing. So for this, what I would do is if I pretend I was going to brown my liquid, my oil with my ground beef, And then I would put in my aromatics. Devon, can you help me there with the carrots?
I sure can.
Put in maybe 2 good handfuls of carrots there.
Okay. Okay.
Now, as my mama would say, I need farm girl handfuls.
Okay.
A little more. There you go. Perfect. And then, since you're practicing, let's do some celery.
Okay.
There you go. Practice makes perfect.
All right.
And you see, I was going to act like I liked you today, and I went ahead and cut these up so we wouldn't have to cry together. We wouldn't have to think of something sad. We're going to think of happy things, making this beef stew.
That's right.
And we're going to put these in. So these are just done as half moons. You can dice them if you want to, however you want to do it. I'm going to put that in, just kind of layer it in there. And you see, just making a nice little amount of stuff there. Okay, and then this is our pretend we have browned this ground beef. We're going to put that in as well there, Devon.
Go ahead and put it in.
Go ahead and put it in. We're not going to make our viewers wait for me to brown it. We're just going to go ahead and put that in.
Because it'll still brown.
Oh, yeah,
so,
it'll brown. It just won't be as seared, if you will.
Okay.
If you are super ambitious and you want to make your own beef stock, you can do that. You roast the bones. You take them out, and then you put them in with those same aromatics that we talked about, the celery, the onion, and the carrot, some water, and let them cook low and slow until it is like super, super smelling wonderful in the air and the liquid is reduced. So I have some beef stock here. What I would do is, if I didn't want to use wine in what I was cooking, I would use all beef stock. But, you know, I really like this Amber Falls wine for cooking.
Yeah, the Cajun.
Cajun.
Yeah, because it's got some spice and kick to it.
Yes, and so it brings a little green pepper flavor into what we're doing. So I'm going to use half of this bottle in. Oh, that's not enough. Even a half yet. We're going to put half in. Oh, and an extra splurge just because we can. And the reason I use white onions, you see the red onion here?
Yeah.
This can make the broth turn kind of gray looking. Red onion, when you cook it, turns things kind of gray. So save this for your raw cooking.
Yeah, it looks really good in a salad, not so good when you cook it.
No, not so good, especially with mushrooms. It just turns grayish brown and it's not fun. And then I'm going to finish putting in my liquid with my beef stock here. And I'm going to cover it. I'm not going to overflow it. I'm going to cover it. And then I'm going to use some aromatics.
Oh my gosh.
Your favorite.
Bay leaf, is that?
Yeah, bay leaf. And you can use fresh bay if you have your own fresh bay tree. Not bay laurel, different plant. Bay leaf is different. And I really like bay with beef. So I'm going to put a handful in. And also, we all have these. We buy a big thing of them, and they sit in our cabinet a long time.
Yeah.
They're going to lose flavor over the course of time. So if you would normally put in 2, it's been sitting there over 6 months, you probably put in 4 or 5 just to give you the flavor presence that you need.
And you pull them out. Do you pull yours out?
Yes.
Before you serve or whatever, because they're not fun to eat.
No, you don't want to try to eat those. You always take those out. And we're doing a little Cajun.
Don't ask me how I know.
Oh, really?
The first time, I was young, I didn't know what it was, and I just munched down on bay leaf. Went to somebody's house that had, you know, Italian, they were cooking Italian food, had a bay leaf, and they go, you take that out, you take that out. I go, now you tell me. So I'm just, for anybody who doesn't know like me, I'm going to tell you, take the bay leaf out, even after you cook.
And if you forget or you miss one, and someone has it in their bowl and you see it, you go, you're the lucky one at the table. Guess what? You get an extra serving of pie just because you found the bay leaf. You don't let them know that you forgot to take it out, right? Or you missed one. You roll with the flow. That's the grade of hospitality. Since we're going Cajun style, a little thyme. This is just a dried thyme. You can put in thyme sprigs if you wanted to be able to pull that out. My stock already has salt in it.
Okay.
I'm not going to put salt or pepper in right now.
Okay.
I season at the end. It has a little bit in the stock. That's enough. And just for kicks and giggles, since we're going Cajun,
sage,
a little bit of filet.
Filet. Well, sassafras, isn't
Yes,
it?
sassafras, yes. So just a little bit, sprinkle on top of the filet here, and you'll get that nuance and you'll say, what made that so good? So you've got all those kind of Cajun flavors in there. I'm gonna put the lid on this puppy and I'm gonna let it go low and slow for 8 hours. I'm gonna pretend I had to go to work. I'm gonna come back in 8 hours and it's going to be ready to go. All I have to do is make some mashed potatoes, some really nice rice, serve it over top, nice bowl, family's fed, one dish to do.
Oh,
hallelujah.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
They said I wouldn't make it without a college degree.
They said only a man could be a roofing executive.
They said a former addict always relapses.
They said my amputation would keep me out of roofing.
They said never give an ex-convict a second chance.
They said I could never be a leader.
They said I couldn't support my family as a single mom.
At Rackley, we say they're wrong.
Want to change the world? Change it, one roof at a time.
Welcome back this morning. I'm here on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University at the Todd Art Gallery. You see some of the work behind us to tell us about not only what you have on display right now, the exhibit that's here, but what's to come. We have Coordinator of Art and Design, Mr. Eric Snyder. Thank you so much for your time.
Glad to be here.
So what do we have right now?
Here we are now.
Here we are now,
right.
Yes.
It is we call it it's a collaborative effort. It's curated by Dr. Barbara and Mr. Leroy Hodges. This is, I think, the fourth one they've put together for us over the last few years. Nice. And essentially it's a storytelling exhibit in that everything features like multiple cultures. So you're looking at African American culture, you're looking at Latino, Hispanic culture, those kind of things. And so you go in and you look and everything is telling the story. It tells about the artist and the background and that kind of thing.
That's beautiful. And the artists that behind the work, those are both local and regional artists. Is that correct?
Correct.
Very nice. And then how long will this be on display? How long can people come in and check this out?
This show will be here for another 2 weeks.
Okay. And after that, what is to come?
After that, then the semester kicks in and we'll have Jessica Heisch, who is a graphic design illustrator artist from California. So we're having her work brought up from the University of North Florida. And she's also sending us some of her personal journals to put on display.
How do you make the selection of who you put out on display, what exhibits you have here? How do you make that determination?
Last few years, we've done it so that I'll call it an area calendar, and so that, let's say, studio art, graphic design, that everybody falls on this rotation. And when you're coming up, we'll go to that particular area and ask those faculty members, who would you like us to investigate to see if we can get them here.
Very nice. I love that you seek the outside input for that.
We do.
What do you hope that people walk away with when they come here to campus, to the Todd Art Gallery? What do you want them to walk away with?
Well, of course, we want them to be enlightened. We want them to discover not just the beauty of art and the aesthetics of it, but also the stories, such as this exhibit, that are included with each piece of artwork.
Well, after being here for 16 years, what does the art mean to you now as someone who helps make sure that all of this is on display?
16 years. Prior to that, I worked with my dad for 20-some years. He used to teach here, in fact. So actually, I brought a good bit of art experience to the table when I got here, and I was hired under Lon Newell, who was the director of the gallery at the time. And he unfortunately passed away a couple of years later, and just so slowly the gallery has just sort of pushed along and gotten more and more expansive in our programming. Like, we didn't used to have anything in the summers, and now we do. And in fact, this whole next year is a booked schedule. Yes. So
that's wonderful. What's the foot traffic that you see?
It varies from show to show. A show like this one, you're going to get several hundred folks during the opening. And if we go to like a solo show, then that has maybe more emphasis for our students. We have been doing both a community opening and a student opening, so that we cover both crowds, that kind of thing. So we're always trying to find ways to better serve our communities.
And tell me, Mr. Snyder, how can we follow what's coming up here at the Todd Art Gallery?
Go to the Department of Art and Design's website that's part of MTSU's main website. So it's mtsu.edu/art.
Be sure to make it out here before this particular exhibit is gone, but you have so many more to look forward to in the coming months. Again, Mr. Snyder, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Stick right here on Mornings on Main Street. We have a lot more coming up right after this.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
Y'all, I'm serious right now. They have a dragon here. I saw it.
Get out of here.
Come on, I'll show you.
Wait up.
Whoa! I told you so. That is a dragon.
Sparks will fly and smoke will roll at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway as America's favorite short track roars back to life Saturday, July 29th with the return of high-speed, non-wing open-wheel sprint cars for the first time in almost 20 years. The Pro Door Manufacturing 40 joining the 500 Sprint Car Tour will be the Jake Seri All-Stars Tour presented by Chevrolet Performance. Plus, all 6 local quarter-mile divisions. Get your tickets for the return of high-octane racing action at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.Racing.
Welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Be sure to join us here for Mornings on Main Street tomorrow. We'll be joining you from First Horizon Ballpark in Nashville, the home of our Nashville Sounds. We have some fun segments in store for you, so we look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Until then, enjoy your Thursday. Try to stay as cool as you can out there. Check on your neighbors, the elderly in your life, and make sure the pets have enough cool water. And make sure that you're hydrating as well if you are out and about. Again, have a great Thursday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.